What it do? What's going on, folks? Hello. Welcome to another edition of Real Talk for Real Men. I am your host, Lee Black, and I am live. So I have been away for a little bit dealing with vacation, family issues, true life. Life keep lifing no matter what. But I did say that I would be back today and do a live show, and here I am. I got my co-host in the house, McMack from Memphis. What's going on, Tasha?
Going on, Black? How are you?
I'm doing okay on this hump day. How are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm all right. No complaints here.
Okay. I don't never know how to take that. I don't know, but I'm glad to see you. And if it's just you and I, we'll have a little quiet conversation. But if the family join, it'll be even better. So, in case you don't know, our show airs live typically on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And you can find us on Real Talk for Real Men under YouTube and Facebook under that exact title, Real Talk for Real Men. You can also find me as part of the TFG family. So if you decide to subscribe to TFG, you'll get a heavy dose of your boy as well, because I am on my own platform. But I also am a regular on TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes. And we do our thing on Monday night. So don't forget to check us out. This is one of the brothers from another, Mr. Kendrick Sports
Going on,
Hustle. He
King?
is also a part of the TFG family. But on Wednesdays, he got that work thing to do. What's going on, my brother? Good to see you. I feel you. Good having you. So, we'll talk a couple of minutes while we wait to see if anybody join us. And before I even reveal what we're talking about tonight, but I wanted to come on first and foremost. We don't have too many people watching, because we've been, how, what's the best word for it? We've been kind of up and down, but there is a reason why the show has been up and down. For those who you might watch this and you come and watch it later on, there's a couple of big reasons. Last week we were out because I was on vacation and I had a family scare. My sister, who is also a regular member of the family, she may join us tonight, but she's recuperating. She had a health emergency while I was away, and of course that was the priority. So I would have been off anyway because I was on vacation, but the extended period was dealing with that. And, this is a social media platform and this is fun and games. But when life starts lifing, everything else has to take a back seat. Would you agree, Atasha?
Completely agree.
Love it, love it. The other part of it is as to why sometimes we're not as we're hitting miss. Tasha and I made a commitment at the beginning of the year that we would continue to do this show as long as it's fun
Hmm.
and long as it's not becoming work. And so for those out there that this is your whole life, God bless you. It's not mine.
Ah, I know that's right.
That there's no other way for me to put it. I have a real job that pays me real dollars, and this was a labor of love from the beginning. It is going to continue to do that. So as long as I'm having fun and enjoying it, that's when I'll come on, and so that's what I'll do. But I don't ever want it to get to a point where I have to do this. I enjoy coming and talking, and it's a great way to mingle and whatnot. But your boy got
Love
other shit to do. So let's just keep it funky, so it ain't that serious. So don't take this shit that serious. But I love you. I love those who have followed me and been ride with me from day one. And I suspect those are going to continue to ride with me. So on Wednesdays and Saturdays, when you see them live, holla at your boy, as Stephen A. Smith would say.
while you can.
Well, because at any point, I can decide that, okay, I've had enough. But I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes. And as long as it's continued to be enjoyable, that's what it will be. But you have to put things in proper perspective. And the events that I went through this past week highlighted that like never before, that life is important, it's precious, and you got to spend your free waking hours doing what the fuck you want to do and need to do that's important to you. And anybody who can appreciate that, fuck them. But anyway, I digress.
Well, all right.
All right. Yeah, look, I felt that needed to be said. Anyway, we're going to be talking about maybe, Tasha, maybe, I say maybe, the subject that I wanted to pull up was emotional intelligence in relationships and does it really matter? And this is very important to me. And we're going to start this, but I'm going to be a full disclosure here. Tasha and I have these conversations on camera, off camera. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is something that I do as a labor of love. But if we get into this and we get 15, 20 minutes and it's just Tasha and I, we'll cut our bait and go back to watch TV and do some other shit. And I'll save this subject for another day. You know,
Sure.
so keep it real. So I'm going to give a few minutes to anyway, Tasha, what do you think of when you hear the term emotional intelligence when it as it applies to relationships?
Um, Regulating your emotions,
Mm,
knowing how to handle someone else's emotions, properly being able to have that interaction, which a lot of people don't they don't really possess those anymore, because especially nowadays, like it's just not something that I don't know if it's even taught, or like anymore. I don't even think it's something that parents are teaching their kids, because you just see people just kind of acting any kind of way when something doesn't go their way, or they get so extreme with their reactions. But I think it's because of lack of being taught regulation.
wow, I love that. And I couldn't agree with you more. And I love the point that you made that it's not even being taught. I truly
Mhm.
think one of the things that hurt relationship is that everybody is allowed this freedom to do whatever the fuck they want to do with no accountability for the other person, because I think now we're just bred to think that as long as it feels good to me, fuck what the other person feels. And so I agree that there is no level of emotional intelligence, in terms of taking into account how to
Mhm.
interact. And a big part of that is the devices that we were attached to. Many people, they text and they talk the same way they text, I should say, you know. And so, these are things that are not being prioritized. And one of the things that stood out to me in this article that I was looking at, I wanted to kind of share with, you guys, when it talks about emotional intelligence, it talks about being able to automatically sense through active awareness and empathy, the little shifts in the dynamics of your romance that signal a need for action. That one sentence holds so much to me, and I'm going to repeat it. Being able to automatically sense through active awareness and empathy the little shifts in the dynamics of your romance that signal a need for action. What part of that speaks to you, McMack, when you hear that?
Being able to sense it, just the shifts, sensing and the shifts. I think that's very different when it comes to men and women. And I think that that differs when it comes to like your age as well. I think that that plays a part in it too.
I
Life experience, just overall life experience.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. The part that I loved everything about it, and one of the things that really jumped off the page for me was that active awareness and empathy. I like the word where it says active awareness and empathy.
Mhm.
Because you can be aware but not actively. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
see what you're going through, but I don't care. And it doesn't
Right.
affect me. And you can have empathy. I have empathy, but it's not always an active empathy, and I'm guilty of that. But be honest with you, everything that happens in every part of the world, I don't give a shit about. And even applying to relationships, you know what I mean? So the idea that I would be actively aware and actively empathetic, engaged in what my partner is going through, that really spoke to me. And I think this is why so many relationships automatically start off on a bad foot. I'm gonna play a little quick video. And for the couple of people watching, thank you for joining. You feel free to comment if you like, but I want to give you full disclosure as we get into this in 15, 20 minutes or so. And we haven't had the family, I'm going to suspend the show because this is an important topic I wanted to discuss, and
Mhm.
I was hoping we'd have the family. But I want to share a video that really sparked this whole thing for me, that why I wanted to talk about emotional intelligence. A video was sent to me. I think it was by my boy Kenny from the Kendrick Sports Hustle, and I want to share it with you guys. And when I saw it, I'm probably going to do my own little take on it. under the TFG Ratchet part. But this is what sparks this show. So let me share my screen. It's a real short video, and I want you to see it and just kind of be able to feel it as well. So let's see if I can pull it up, hopefully. And I want you to hear this video. So it's real short. There we go. No, that is not it. Why is it not showing? Bear with me, folks. I have it all queued up, but shit, that's the power of. There we go. Here we go. All right. I know I'm not crazy. Can you hear me, Tasha? Give me a thumbs up.
I can hear you and I can see your screen.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So check this out now. In case you don't know, this is Dr. What is it, Umar? And I don't agree always with a lot of the shit that comes out of his mouth, because I think he's self-serving. But there are definitely some things that he say that really hit home, and this was one of them. And he's talking about relationships. So check this out, folks.
Respects women. It doesn't matter how soon y'all did it. And if a man does not respect women, it don't matter how long you made him wait. Make sure you know how he feels about women, and there's no better way to find that out than to ask him how he feels about his mother. And the last point, Queen, don't make the mistake of so many sisters who look for men who they have something in common with, right? We both psychologists. We both watch the reality show. We both like to read. We both like the beach. That's superficial. You should be looking for whether or not y'all share the same values. He like to spend money. You like to save money. You want to have a lot of children. He don't want none. You believe in a relationship with God. He don't believe in God. You believe in saving for retirement. He wants to live for today. Study a man's values and make sure you can live with what he believes in. And the last thing, I know I said 3, but I'm going to give you this. You can never change a person. When you meet that man, Queen, ask yourself this and be honest with yourself. Can I live with him as he is if he never changed for the rest of my life? Never get married because you think it's going to make the problems go away. Marriage will only highlight and intensify the problems that are already there.
What do you think of that, Tasha, what he said?
I don't agree with 99% of the shit that he says, but I mean, there's, a broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I mean? So I think, what he said, it definitely makes a lot of sense. And I do think that a lot of people don't consider that. And I think that not only just with relationships, I think that's where people go wrong a lot of times, is that you look for certain things to build with people on that are superficial, shallow, surface level, skin level, instead of going deeper. Just because that person may tick a few physical characteristics does not mean that that makes that person a great person, or somebody that you should, like that you should be wanting to be with. I think that that's why we see a lot of these celebrity relationships end up the way that they do, because it's built on something superficial. It's built on how they look, or how they dance, or because of how the appearances would be, or because, oh, everybody says we will look cute together, or something even dumber, we'll have cute kids together.
Wow.
So
Wow. Absolutely. And I love how you started off. On that one, I think he nailed it. He knocked it out of the park. The bad part about it, if we was in that audience and he went any further than that, he would have probably lost me,
he would have fucked
because
it up.
he would have fucked it up. But that little snippet, he was dead on so many points, that he made several good points there. And I like how he talked about aligning values. And that's where the thought to me came from, emotional intelligence, because why is it so many people end up in these relationships, and you wonder why, that at its core they haven't aligned values. And I like how he talked about, because sometimes people go out looking for that things they have in common rather than values, but like you said, the superficial things. And he was fishing, but he was thinking off the top of his head, oh, I like reality shows and this, that. And I hear that all the time. Oh, we're together all the time and we watch the same shows. Well, what the fuck does that really mean when it comes down to when shit gets you in the heat of battle and you need to know about what that person really is about? And then he gave some real examples. If you got one person who is about saving and another person about living for the day, that relationship is doomed.
It is.
I know you want to jump in and say something. Go ahead, McMac.
This emotional intelligence as well is something that is not that people don't even consider when they are having children. And this right here is huge.
Absolutely.
Because damn a relationship, like how many people do we know whose relationships that they've been with long term, hell, even some marriages that are solely built on a pregnancy, that are solely built on we got together because I got her pregnant, he got me pregnant, and that was the start of our relationship. You didn't even really know that person that well.
I love the example you just gave, so I want to ask a question. Ain't nobody else on this motherfucker, it's just you and I having this conversation. And folks, anybody watching this, this is how we would do it anyway. So I got a question, McMac, on that scenario you gave. A woman gets pregnant by a man.
Mm-hmm.
What would, into your mind, on this subject of emotional intelligence, what would be the emotionally intelligent thing to do if you know you're not compatible? What should happen to your mind in that scenario?
Two adults need to sit down right then and immediately and determine where they go from here. They need to have an adult conversation because there's no playing anymore. You done did the ultimate, oh shit, you've done the ultimate, you've done the most. So two adults need to decide, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to try to make a go of it? Or in this case, they're not compatible. Look, this is where we are. These are the options that I'm comfortable with. Let me know what you think as far as the options that you're comfortable with. And then we need to go from there and we need to make a plan that, okay, fine, we're not going to be together, but we're going to co-parent, and this is how I want to do it. But you have to be open, and it has to be a real conversation, and one person does not get to necessarily like monopolize it.
I love it. I love that, because too often in that scenario, the power either shifts one way or the other. If it's the woman, sometimes, well, it's my baby, it's my body, and she's right. But if you do decide to have that baby, there needs to be an emotionally intelligent conversation about what it's going to look like if you're making that conscious choice, because now he shouldn't be put in a situation that I have to be with you just because we're having a baby. And you need some kind of confirmation from him of emotional intelligence. What does it look like if this happens? So I want to read something on this note and apply it to the situation. It says, to reach the height of romance, we all need a high level of emotional intelligence, sharp emotional awareness to avoid mistaking infatuation or lust for lasting love, acceptance to experience emotions that could harm a relationship if left to fester, and a vigilant, active awareness to appraise us of what's working and what isn't. And again, all the nuggets in that right there, talking about two people who need both to have a high level of emotional intelligence, because it says, I'm going to say it again, sharp emotional awareness to avoid mistaking infatuation or lust for lasting love, acceptance to experience emotions that could harm a relationship if left to fester, and lastly, a vigilant, active awareness to appraise us of what's working and what isn't. You don't have to be together, folks, if you're not meant to be together. And sometimes it's just lust and infatuation. It's just fuck. It's just a fuck session, you know. And sometimes we want to make it more than it really is, but you have to grow emotionally intelligent enough to say, No, I see where this would go because we don't have the same alignment of values, of views, especially on important things. Like you said, children being one of them, the idea of marriage, uh, duties within a relationship, finances. These are big conversations, big issues that people don't talk about. And then when it talks about the awareness to appraise of what's working, what isn't, if you're in a relationship, that it's going to get better. Sometimes it needs to come to an acceptance that this is not working.
I I that ties into what Dr. Umar said in that video that you just played
Hmm.
about accepting what is. I think a lot of times people get caught up in the what could be's or in the potential of something or what someone could be. No, just I think I saw another video, or I don't know if he just said it in this one, but it's like, well, no, he just said it in this one. Can you accept the person exactly how they are right now? If they never changed, if they never got better, can you accept them like that? And
Right
I
now.
think if people maybe started, like when they're casually dating someone, that's kind of how I look at it. Like, would I be okay being with this person exactly? Like, I'm thinking this is the best that they are.
Right.
That could be to me when I first meet someone. This is the best that they are. And I think a lot of people, if they just maybe approached it that way, I don't think they would be necessarily setting themselves up for heartache and like surprises on down the road.
I love it. I love it. You know, at 8:22, we are going to stop our conversation here. I think it's appropriate that we got in a really nice bit of conversation about emotional intelligence. We didn't go too deep into it, but the beauty of it is it's my show. And the also part of it is sometimes it's okay to keep it short. Look, the reality is, as I said at the beginning of this conversation, life is lifing for all of us
Hmm.
at any given time. People are going through different things. Kenny has to work. That's a regular member of the family. Sherry is recuperating. I didn't know if she was going to show or not. The Postons, I don't know where they're at. And Tasha and I, we work for a living. So we're coming on after a hard day's work. So if you do go back and watch this, I hope you get something out of it. I hope we still open the door to you to have your own conversation about emotional intelligence, what it is. I'm certainly going to table this and hopefully be able to bring this back where we can have this conversation with the family and go even deeper. But it's a Wednesday, hump day. Everybody's doing their thing. And so it's appropriate that we kind of ended on that note. And I
Hmm.
hope the rest of you guys out there have a great, great rest of your week. Everybody got a lot of things going on. Send me topics if you want to discuss it. Who knows? This may become the regular format at some point where, Tasha and I will do a 30-minute segment on our shows.
Hmm.
I think the Saturday shows are real fun to where sometimes when we don't have anything to do, if you guys know, those go 2 hours. We know that normally people aren't going to watch 2 hours. We're doing it for us more than anything else. But maybe the Wednesday formats will start to shorten. So I want you guys to be prepared for that so that if we start breaking it down to 45 minutes and 30 minutes, we can get in what we can get in. Sometimes the best packaging comes in small doses. I'm okay with that if you're okay with that. And so,
Yep.
anyway, this has been to me is still a great conversation that I wanted to talk about it with my best friend and share
Hmm.
this conversation where you guys were able to listen in on it. Hope you enjoyed it. And I want everybody to have a great, great evening. Sasha, hang around a little bit afterwards if you would.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to say for you guys, peace out. This has been a long week for me getting started back after the things, but I enjoyed coming on live. But I will see you guys hopefully on Saturday, God willing, and we'll think of something fun to do. And we hope to see you there.
Hmm.
Till next time, peace and love.